The scariest thing in a matrimonial relationship is the D word. The D word, that is the divorce, may have many reasons or triggers. But one thing is for sure, none of the partners come out of it as winners. And it is painful, both emotionally, physically, and financially. But how does this process pan out? And to understand the pain-enduring process, we have with us Meghna Mishra, partner Karanjawala Co. So, I want to talk to you about how a woman should prepare herself. First of all, before she goes to the court, what should be the checklist for her she should make first to apply for a divorce? And second, adding to that question, most of the women, unfortunately in India, are not financially independent. So, to be financially independent post this separation, what are the things that she should keep in mind? So if you can give us the checklist for both, that'll be great.
There isn't a hard and fast checklist as such, but here are some of the things that you must keep in mind. One, of course, is that right from the time that your marriage has been fixed, there is a concept of Stridhan, which is all the jewelry and gifts that are given to you at the time of marriage. Keep the receipts, keep the photographs of those, so that later in time, in the unfortunate event of a divorce, you can at least show, and because we are in a court now, so you need to prove that this is the Stridhan that came, and so this is the X amount that I have as my Stridhan, which belongs to the woman exclusively.
And Stridhan is the jewelry.
Is the jewelry, the gifts, whatever comes to you at the time of marriage and after. So the whole concept was, this was to give the woman the comfort that you also have some assets, something which is exclusively yours. So that is one aspect of it. Don't dilute that to buy a joint household.
Okay.
Keep that away. Second, over a period of time, and you would know if your marriage is going downhill. You will sense it. It's usually not an event that takes place overnight.
Yeah.
So if you know that things are looking a little dicey for you, start putting away money, whatever little that you can, because the process is a little time consuming in our country. But that said, we have a lot of statutory provisions which provide for maintenance for the woman and the child. So she is entitled to house, she is entitled to monthly maintenance, she is entitled to live broadly the same way as she was living, supposing she has to leave the house. So she has the right to be maintained in more or less the same way. So the court takes into account the status of the parties, the lifestyle, etc. Also, one very good thing which has happened over the last few years pursuant to Supreme Court judgment, and earlier, there were these detailed affidavits that are now being filed of financial assets of both parties simultaneously in every such matter, where you can't really hide your assets, which used to be a huge insurmountable task for women. How do you show what your husband makes? If he's in a partnership, you don't know what he's making, you don't know, you may not have access to the tax filing. So those difficulties have now been really addressed by this requirement of filing this detailed affidavit.
That might be easy if you are a salaried person, but what happens if there is somebody's business and most of it is in cash?
Here's what the court takes into account. What is the car that you're driving? What are the kind of holidays that you've taken? What is your lifestyle? And if it doesn't match up, so supposing you're driving a Porsche and you're going for overseas vacations and you're going to come to court and say, oh, but here I have only 50,000 rupees. It doesn't match up. And so the court will and has the power to go deeper into it and to ask you. And say, for example, and this is very common in business families, the husband has nothing to his name.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So in terms of assets, everything belongs to the in-laws. But the court will take into account what is his role in that business, if it's a family business. So the status of the parties determines that.
Okay. And what happens while this process is going on? You said one of the cases was for 18 years. So how would that woman kind of...
So you have provisions for maintenance during the pendency of the case. So of course it allows even a husband to actually ask
So the woman is earning more?
If the woman is earning more, or the woman is earning and he's not.
Okay.
But normally speaking, there is a requirement and expectation that the husband, if he is able-bodied and of an able mind, that he has to maintain the wife. And so the wife has the right, like I said, to the household. She has a right to the maintenance. She has a right for the children to be maintained as well. So, and there are other acts apart from Hindu Marriage Act. There is the Adoption and Maintenance Act. There is CRPC, which provides for maintenance. There is Domestic Violence Act. All of these provide for maintenance of the wife. So you can build a corpus. Of course, if I have got a large chunk from one court, if you filed simultaneously these other petitions, it will be taken into account. It's not like out of 4 from everywhere you will get 25 lakhs each. So the court takes into account what have you got from the other proceeding. But all of these proceedings are there and they don't take that much time. These are much faster. But that said, it's not immediate, which is why I said you must keep away some purpose.
Yeah. We have talked about, women having financial stability. One question that comes to my mind, and since you've talked about Stridhan, so if you're saying that you have the Stridhan and you're filing for a divorce and you are also getting, money from your husband's side to maintain the household for that time, does that woman still have rights on his father's property?
So this act, the Succession Act, was amended in 2005. So what happened after that is that very clearly now there is no grey area here. Women are entitled to a share in their parents' property.
Parents' property.
Yes.
Ancestral, or is it?
Both.
Both.
Okay. So self-acquired, of course, the parents can also will it to somebody, which you can't challenge. But supposing someone dies, what we call it's when you don't make a will, it's an intestate. So he's passed and there is no will. So the woman, the daughter, will have a share in that, equal to that of the brother. But you also must keep in mind that what is the time when you get this from your parents?
Parents, right.
So that is only upon their demise or
when we are trying for a
yes. So it's not something which is in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediately.